Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome to TERRA NIL. My name is Sid, as always. This is not a standard cozy game. There's no farming, as far as I know. There's no raising livestock, as far as I know. And there's no smooching on the local boys, as far as I know. However, I can't help but consider this very much a cozy game, even if it doesn't fall into the same gameplay loop. As you'll see, it is just downright relaxing, and I really enjoy it. And it has a very, back to nature aspect. Your whole point is you are taking a desolate area, and you are restoring it, bringing back water, plant life, animal life, things like this, and then extracting all your human crap out. Very interesting to me. Full disclosure, I recorded the first, because this works in maps, like you start in on a beach, in a canyon, whatever. I did the first map, I recorded it already, and the audio was completely corrupted. So rather than just talk over something I'd already done, I'm just going to re-record it. So what that means is, you're not necessarily getting my first reaction here, although it has been a few days, so I kind of forgotten anything I said. But what you are going to get is, I have done this once, so I hopefully will not make some of the very infuriating mistakes I made the first time. So let's just go ahead and get into it, and I'll sort of explain as we go. Move our one green leaf cursor. So as you can see, very simple, just gets you right into it. There's really not a lot of fat to trim off this game, but we see here we have the introduction. This book serves as a guide to the intricate process of restoring an environment from a wasteland to a thriving ecosystem. The process is not always easy, and even with this guide, you will need to experiment to understand exactly what needs to be done. As I said, I've gotten some of that experimenting out of the way. In the pages that follow, you will find descriptions of this region's flora and fauna you are likely to encounter. The book also contains blueprints of machines and structures that will help you in your task. If you are successful, you will eventually no longer need this book. When that happens, I ask you pass it along that it may serve someone else. Good luck with your journey of restoration. Now, for the moment, that is all that has to tell us. We have a difficulty here. We're just going to go middle of the line, ecologist. That's your standard normal. So, to begin with, some basics. Pan the camera by moving your mouse cursor to the edge of the screen, RTS style, which I like. You can also press middle mouse button and drag, or use the WASD keys. So, pretty standard. And zooming in and out with your wheel. Now, we have our first proper thing here, providing electricity. Any wasteland reclamation project should start with a turbine. Select and place one now. And we'll get further in here. Now, this has what it provides, its requirements. It has all these things. Now, it's going to explain more in a second. So I'm just going to skip it right now. The first time I was a little baffled, not really realizing what's going on. So now, cleaning the soil. Now that you have electricity, you can clean the soil. Try to fit 4 toxin scrubbers as far from the turbine as possible. So, I think technically that's further. Yeah, so there we go. I'm realizing when I did this the first time, I put them just directly in the squares, and you really don't have to do that if you are actually trying to get them as far as possible, cover as much space. Yeah, you don't have to do that. So right there, already something I learned. Some buildings can be rotated with R or the mouse wheel. Select the irrigator and try this. So you see you've got these little T-shaped offshoots. We can change which direction this irrigator is going to shoot water. So let's go ahead and line these ones up as they request for us in this beginning time. It won't take long before they sort of just set us free on our own devices. Now, that being said, again, I think I'm going to disregard their rules. And yeah, see, we're going to try and cover more of this area ourselves, since I did place this slightly differently. Now, this tree is in the way of me fully Yeah, getting everything. So, we're going to go as close as we can and just go with what it said. So, you had a little freedom, but it pulled us right back in. If ever you are lost, you can always look in the handbook for hints about what to do next. Increasing the landscape's greenery is your primary goal, but remember to keep an eye on your available resources. To begin with, get the greenery target to 30%. So this is what I was talking about. It'll give us some proper resources. So as you can see, like this toxin scrubber, it requires desolate ground, which is you can see that's what this is versus this cleaned ground, and this just requires one of these stones to put a turbine. You can see here the irrigator will provide grass and that leaf symbol, which the resources is up here. That's just how we essentially build everything. So we want to get our greenery up to 30% for now. And to do so, we're going to go ahead and place another wind turbine, then start this scrubber process. And again, I'm not great at efficiency in general, so just kind of try to do this the best we can, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it if it's a little bit dumpy. I'm trying. So, I will say this. The first time I played, this is not what my map looked like. So it appears to be either randomly generated, or there are different maps you can load into from each time you play. That's interesting. So we unlock further technologies as we reclaim more greenery. So realistically, all that means is let's just get to it and start trying to get as much greenery as we possibly can. And we obviously do that just by placing down these scrubbers and trying to get as little overlap with as much of this green tile as possible. So something like that. I think now we'll go ahead and take one of our irrigators and we'll throw this down in a way that tries to maximize what we can get out of it. I think that's going to look good. And again, I know there's like a little lightning bolt here, but I'm not terribly efficient. So we have a water pump. Pumps water to fill dry riverbeds. Riverbanks are cleansed by the water. Range is extended by elevation. Okay, so what that means, so like you can see this whole green area that would be filled if I put this here, whereas if I put it like, I can't put it over here, but, yeah, so like if I put it here, the range is significantly shorter, so we want to give it a little elevation. And just like that, it has cleaned up the riverbanks. I think I'm gonna try and get a little bit more of this river going. Yeah, I am going to do that. So now, does this have to be placed? Okay, so we don't have to actually do any terraforming before. We just have to make sure that it has power. And look at that. Oh, that sucks. We did miss just a tiny little bit there, but that's okay. I do wonder if this would be enough to fill it. No, that actually will not assist. We'd have to go to here. I'm going to go ahead and do that for reasons that will become apparent later. That actually will matter. But okay, let's try and... Yeah, we're going to do something... There we go, something like this. I'm going to try and fill this area with greenery here. Be a little selective with how we lay down our plots. And again, I know it's not super duper efficient. Like I said, I did learn a lot, but I am still kind of a moron, so we'll do the best we can, but I am not going to get too bent out of shape aiming for complete perfection. Okay, there was enough to get our calcifier. Crystallizes nearby greenery, creating rocks. So what we could do with that is something like, say, put this right here, right? And now we could say, hey, I want to make a turbine here. And that allows us to start plopping down and creating greenery in this area. So pretty cool. It gives you a little flexibility again. And as I just learned, if your map, if there is this sort of randomized element to the map, it means that, okay, we're giving you the ability to kind of control better what you're making. So I think that's pretty cool. We gonna be able to reach from there? Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's my bad. I'm a dum-dum. I was just trying to fill in the, I was just trying to fill in those greenery areas. I didn't even think about the water up there, but that's okay. There's something like that. That's what I wanted to achieve. So, we need to get 75% to unlock this last building. We can probably get a lot of that down here. This is a pretty big chunk of land. So, we'll do something like that. And then I think what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do something like this. Yes, so we'll go throw these down so that we can sort of complete the rest of this island. Do something like this. Throw down another toxin scrubber over here, but I'm gonna try and maximize the distance. Something like that sounds good to me, actually. Now, let's get a straight line working, and we're going to try and put this as just enough. Yep, right there. It's not perfect. Can we put it like there? I think that's actually better, isn't it? No, actually, I like it up here because that'll fill in these small lines right there, which I know, not a big deal, but it actually, I like that. It's a completionist thing. Kind of leave us out of some of those more checkerboard patterns that are easy to make. Okay, we got an excavator. Creates a new riverbed, but poisons the land around it. Can be rotated. So, okay, here. Let's use one of these. Just for the sake of showing you what they do. They're pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. So, we need to power it. And then, say we want to go like, let's make this a long riverbed right here. So, we plop this down. And boom. We just created a riverbed, connected it to the water. And, I guess I actually dodged a bullet there, no pun intended. But had this been green, it would have turned it back to wasteland. So we actually sort of made that in a way that was more efficient than I think was... actually, it was not my intention, but that's good. Happy accident, happy accident. Let's see here. Could we do an L right here? We could, but I don't think it's super efficient. That's not crazy efficient, but I think we're going to go with that. We are running a little low on our resources. So, just have to keep an eye on that. So that's 84. That's 96. We're going with 96, of course. So, we have a few spots here, here, that we could start throwing down our ability to irrigate those. But I think I want to start messing around with the other side of the river, just for now. So we're going to do what we did in our very first spot, and we're going to try to kind of four corners this and see if we can't somewhat try to really fill a large swath of area here. We'll start with a line irrigator there. We might actually just continue with line irrigation. That's probably the best bet. Yeah, we'll go for that right there. And there we go. We hit our percentages. So, temperate. Reclaiming this landscape... Oh my god, let me try that again. Reclaiming this landscape will involve wind turbines for power, toxin scrubbers to clean soil, and water pumps to restore the rivers. The steps to creating a temperate forest are not always straightforward, and you may need to use controlled fires before the trees can thrive. So what we have to do here is pretty cool, because again, this does, in some ways, simulate things that actually happens. So we have the hydroponium, which creates wetlands. We will replace irrigators, and it will just turn chunks of land into wetlands, which I think is super cool and very satisfying to watch. In fact, let's do this. I like the idea of taking, again, I like to think naturally. This goes back to why I love maps, in fantasy books, or making maps for D&D. So, there's this island here. This would be a great spot to make wetlands. It's, almost entirely surrounded. So let's go ahead and do that and look at this. I love it. I love the way that looks. So what we have to do is we need to complete these bars. We need more wetlands, more fynbos. I'm not actually sure. I forgot to look that up. And forest. So the forest is an interesting one. You actually have to take a pre-existing tree and use a beehive on it. So here's what we'll do. We'll have to start this one over here. Excuse me, that's not the forest. That's the fynbos. That's the starts making flowers. I think we are going to extend our wetlands, so that's actually going to result in a negative, so we won't do that. That's a good one. I like the look of that. Again, it has to make sense aesthetically for me, or it bothers me a bit. Okay, well, that's a big area of wildflowers. We're going to go with that. Now, this solar amplifier, this thing is absolutely terrifying to me. But we have to use it. So here we go. This is how we make way for forests. So we click it, and we start a controlled burn. Here we go. I say controlled. It's not terribly controlled. It kind of just wrecks your whole everything. But all of this ashen material is now usable to start an arboretum. We actually use the remains of any of these buildings we just burn up in those massive fires to start forests, which again, I just think is so cool. It's such an interesting concept, such a cool way to go about doing it. So we place one of those down, and bam, now we have a forest. And you can zoom in quite far, and I think the graphics are quite pretty on this game. But can you see what I mean about this game just being just amazingly relaxing? Looks like 195 might be our best bet for another forest. Yeah, that checks all of our boxes for forests. And what we can do now, let's find a way here. We'll go back to, we'll make a turbine. Now we're going to scrub some of these areas, and I will show you why. This is pretty interesting to me. Let's go ahead and make a good area of overlapping scrubbed area. So I'm gonna make sure that this is all butting against the forest pretty heavily. That's important for what I'm planning here. There we go. Oops, missed a little bit. That's okay. So then, after we've made this new grassland next to the forest, what can we do with those trees? That is right. We add beehives, and bam. Now we have all of this wildflower land. But it's pretty what's the word? It's greedy. They want a lot of wildflower land, which you will not hear me complaining about. Actually, we're gonna make a big chunk up here. That'll complete what we needed. So then we just need to get our our wetlands going. Do we have much of an area to do it in? Not really. So what we can do here is just artificially just say, you know what? Doesn't matter. Let's just slap some down. Why don't we go ahead and I'm gonna re-scrub the toxins here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It's only 20. Saw 28 in there. That was a pretty good set. Right there. Okay, we'll go with that. Now that should be close enough to turn this into wetlands. Ah, dang, it actually was not. Oh, well that sucks. Okay. That's okay. We'll still make use of this. We're just gonna move where we were putting it. Let's see. If we put this right here, we'll complete this full area. No missed opportunity on that. Come on. There we go. And I think this should be enough for our purposes here. Wow, only 19 on that. Okay. Still need some more. What do we got here? Research Center. Reduce the cost of some buildings, unlocks the ability to manipulate this region's climate. That's rather interesting. Why don't we put this up top? Let's put it, actually, I'm going to put it like right next to the wetlands. I think that's a good spot for it. Construct a research center makes many primary reclamation buildings cheaper. Now that you've learned the basics of restoration, you need begin to address the regional climate. The climate is defined by these attributes. Right now we are only interested in humidity, but these will change in the future. So as you can see, we've got all these goals. If we get up to 40% humidity, fungi will start to grow in the forests. You know, all the way up to 90% humidity, which is salmon will start to spawn and swim through our rivers. Now, we do have, don't believe it's optional. We have to get, there's something, let's see here. Buildings that grow plants, like the irrigator beehive, are also affected by regional climate attributes. So you'll see here there are ideal conditions for things like that. We have here a cloud seeder. Uses surrounding water and ocean to encourage cloud formation and increase ambient humidity. Okay. Cultivating the right climate is an important step in your reclamation journey. Good luck. Okay, well, let's take this cloud seeder. We can go ahead and start messing with that a bit. Does it show, let's see, 7%, 2%. So these, we have a 10% right there. That's pretty sick. Yeah, let's go with that one. That adds 10% humidity. That almost gets us over. Oh, ferns at 55. Okay, interesting. Let's see. What are we still working on? Wetlands. Still working on those wetlands, eh? Slowly. We're actually going to lose wetlands if we do that. That's crazy. Oh, or is that's resources, isn't it? That's what we would lose. But it would add wetlands. Yeah, we're going with that. Nice. And that adds up some humidity. We're up to 49% now. Let's see. Now, this doesn't actually have to do anything, as far as I know. It just has to be there. So, what if... Let's see, this one, if we stretch this out this direction, this should be close enough to catch everything. Let's try. Ah, it sure is. Ooh, and we're getting so close. We are so close to having enough wetlands. Can we... Oh, look at that. Now, what did we have here? Oh, we're still waiting on those ferns. Let's go ahead and convert this. I think that should put us up over. Yep, sure did. Okay. With plant life and climate reestablished, the final step is to construct an airship by recycling your buildings. As you remove your presence, introduce fauna to be the new custodians of the ecosystem. Okay, so I think this is so cool. I also just noticed that these are just like little succulent watering areas. That's quite cool to me. So now our big thing is build an airship, get out of Dodge, right? Now, I say we build it in this nice little chunk of land that we're not going to mess anything up to do so. So we have a recycling silo. Recycles other buildings and stores a portion of the cost. So we lay these down, and this will just pick up any buildings we've laid down. Super cool. And I think that's a good placement. Look, that's just going to boop, gone. All the man-made stuff. Now, yes, we still have this recycling silo, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I am curious. Now we have the recycling drone. I'll show you what he does. This is actually quite cool. So with this, we have the ability to use these loading docks to pick up the recycling silo. So for instance, take this loading dock here and watch. And you can tell the construction of the loading dock is, you know, it's far more bare bones, so that like the idea is like it picks it up and takes it all with it. So I think that's pretty cool as well. See, I actually kind of screwed myself on the placement of these. It looks like what we might want to do, this might actually be the best bet, is we put water up here. We create a lock right there. We then, let's see, we go like this. Oh crap, well, I should have built the lock first. Messed that up. That's okay though. Go like that, and then we place this guy up here, and that will pick up our recycling silo. Now I believe, yes. So I forgot about this until just now. But oh, look at that, the lock. That's super cool. I love that. Now, are we gonna somehow tear down the lock? No. So I wonder. That now has to be removed. Uh-huh. I see. That's okay. We can do it this way. Oh, so close. That's pretty good. We'll go with that. So what I was saying is I kind of didn't realize until just now. I was kind of using silos and then using the boats to pick them up. But it looks like you can just use the boat. So I could very easily just... well, no. Is that not? No, it is how it works. Why can't I get that guy to go away? Let's use this and see if this works. See if he'll just pick that up. Okay, it did work that way. Alright, crisis averted. Well, let's just continue trying to get as much stuff as we can out of here. That's a pretty good one. And then afterwards, I think we're going to put a lock, a gate lock, go up this river and try and pick up a few more things here. Yep, just like that. So, put a lock there. And put our loading dock up here. Looks good to me. And I could put down more recycling drones, but I don't feel the need to. I think we're okay. Yeah. Now, where this gets real interesting is, okay, we go like this, right? We use our recycling silo. We pick up all this stuff. Well, now how do we get a hold of the silo, I hear you ask? We'll get to that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. In fact, we're just going to kind of go on a silo littering spree to pick up all of our stuff here. I think we can, yep, be able to pick all those up pretty easily. But... where's our recycling bot? Okay, he's a little behind, but that's okay. Now watch this. This is super cool to me. Oh, what's going on? Oh, he's coming to get it. Okay. Now, this is super cool to me. We take this excavator, right? That we don't have powered. I did this last time too. So, plop those back down even though I just destroyed them. Oh, and you know what? We gotta get rid of that gate too, so we'll do that. Oh, I didn't realize, we forgot to put in the animal observatory. I forgot about that. I'll plop one of those down. That's my bad. The final step as recycling progresses is to reintroduce the reintroduction of animals. New animal species will help maintain the ecosystem long after your buildings are packed away. New species need to be scanned for. Open the scanning panel here. Use these animal portraits to switch between animals and get a hint about where each species lives. Use this button to scan for the selected species. Each scan will give you information about the suitability of the area scanned. You'll need to find suitable habitats for at least 3 animal species. Good luck. So we'll get to that in just a second. But first, I want to show you how this excavator. We are about to daisy chain excavators, and I just think it's super cool. How can we make this work? Yes, this will work. So you're gonna get to see the pollution I was talking about. Bam! It just depletes that area, but that's okay. And here's why. We rotate this. We do one of these. Oh, did it work? There. Now it's going to ruin some forest. It sucks, I know. But look at that. Now, obviously, we have to create some water. But now what we've done is we have now made the ability for our little... Oh, are you kidding? That wasn't enough? Oh, no. I guess we're going to have to put one there, too. We have now made the ability for our little boat to get up here and deal with that. But let's go ahead and deal with this animal species first. So what do we have here? That looks like we have a deer, like a frog or a turtle, maybe some kind of cat, a wolf, a duck. I think this is beaver. I think I got this last time. I want to say this is beaver. So, like, what do we need? We need water and trees, right? So it says here, it needs to be in range of the river and at least 10 forest tiles. So is that even something we can complete? I don't know. Because this larger spot is what they consider river. So, like, technically, to get that, we might need, you know, again, in range of river. Yeah, we're having trouble with that one because this is the river. So what we could do is bring in some more stuff, make some more forest. But for right now, I say we're just going to say, you know what? No, let's go ahead and find other animal species. See if we can find some. So this looks like a deer, right? Yeah, boom. Say we just need to find some, you know, some grasslands. That's what deer love, right? This thing, like I said, it looks like either a turtle or a frog. So let's try some wetlands. Okay, we have in range of wetland tiles. Let's see maybe what else it might need to be by. How about buy some plains? No, that wasn't it. What about up here by the wildflowers? Okay, so that was it. Yep. Okay, so it was a frog. So there's 2 species. Let's see what this thing is. This is interesting. It looks kind of... oh, it actually did need a hill. That is interesting. I just thought, I say it looks like either a cat or a bear or something. So I was thinking maybe it would like some high ground. Let's check over this area then. So still just the high ground. We are not having any luck finding any of the other requirements. Okay, I don't know. Let's try a duck. Try the river. Oh, it's not even a duck, it's a goose. And that was all we needed. Was just make sure they have in a lake. I guess since this is sort of like more of a circular area that counts as a lake. So what do we have here? We had right in range of the river, but with the forest. I don't think we're able to complete that one. So let's see what this guy's all about. Maybe this like... Okay. So nothing from there. Maybe it wants to be in range of deer because it needs... Aha! It does. Okay. So in range of deer, but I bet you it needs forest and deer. Let's check. Yes, so it needs forest, and there's some deer. So let's try something like that. Bam, timber wolf. That's super cool. Oh, is it gonna kill it? We about to see some murder? Oh, and look, there's our geese. Okay, so we have our animal species discovered. Now let's just finish getting all these supplies picked up, and we are good to go. Oh, we have that guy up there. Can we get him something like that? We sure can. There we go. That's nice. Oh, what? I thought for sure... Oh, I messed that up. Well, it's okay. It'll all get picked up the same way. Oh, and we have one way out there. Okay, we're going to have to make ourselves another little offshoot river. No big deal. Shoof. I hate doing that because I hate destroying more forest, but we, as far as I can tell, don't really have any other option. So, that's just going to have to be what it is. Okay, we'll do like that. Again, I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. It's what it has to be. Oops, that's not the water generator. That is. And then we plop this collection area down, and we should be good to go. Now, I am going to assume... Well, we'll talk about that at the end, but I assume there is, you know, probably bonuses or perks for fully completing an area, getting all the animals, things like that, right? But for now, let's watch our little drone on its way out. Oh, we're at 54%. If we would have got 1 more percent, we would have had fungus in the forest. So, like, again, that's something you would learn and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this next time. So there is the replayability of A, the fact that it's randomized, B, that, you know, there are... Oh, I'm blanking on what I was saying. Well, anyway, there's our... so we have Wasteland Reclaimed. You know, and I'm wondering... so we have the Appreciate button, which will just give us, like, some cinematic views, you know. Which, again, ours looks pretty janky. Let's go ahead and continue, though. What happened? There we go. Okay. So we zoom out. All the way out, and it shows us the planet we're on, that we are slowly working to terraform and reclaim. So we see over here our progress, what we did with that. We discovered 4 of the 6 species, so that's another thing. We could go back, try again to get that. We only got 51% total. We had climate thresholds achieved. That was our humidity. So there were 4 other things we could have gotten with that if we would have got the place up to, like, I think like 90% humidity. But we did find all the biomes. So I guess there's something locked. I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's a challenge mode or something. But we unlocked a tropical area where there's going to be beach, mangroves, tropical forest, coral reefs, and many, many, many more animals to discover. And then I'm assuming, like, this will be a tundra, and who knows, maybe this will be a desert. I don't know. This is as far as I've gotten. But, yeah, I just thought this was oh, I don't know what these coordinates do. Maybe it's like a seed generator, right? But just hidden as, like, a coordinates for, you know, in-game lore sake. But anyway, that's TERRA NIL. I really like it. Again, without all my blabbering over top, it's really relaxing. So I don't know exactly how this video is going to come up. Probably just going to get put up roughly pretty generally unedited, just so that you can see what a full first time through it was. If this is something that you'd like to see more of, let me know. As of yet, I don't have any plans of releasing more. I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted to sort of show you guys as maybe just a little cheap, little time waster, relaxing game for you that, you know, is about restoring a planet from desolate to habitable. I mean, that's great, right?
let me know if you guys enjoyed this. If you do want to see more, I was thinking maybe what we could do is a 100%, you know, see if we can 100% each of the tasks. I think can't be more than 4 or 5 of them. It might be something fun to put out just as a little morning video, longer stuff, and wouldn't take the place of Stardew, just something a little extra. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know. And if not, thank you for watching. And one way or another, I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.